Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rumcast. This is the podcast that talks all things rum-related with the people who love and shape it. Here in the podcasting booth today, as usual, is Mr. Will Hookinga and myself, John Gulla. And today we are both pretty excited to be bringing you a full-length feature interview with the general manager of Uruapan Charanda, Miss Miriam Pacheco. And Will, I know we're both big fans of Mexican rums in general, and even more so, I think, as of late.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed Uruapan products early on in my rum journey, and had you told me like we would only be talking to them 5 years into our podcast, I would have told you no way.
I know.
But Will, like today, the day has finally arrived.
It's finally here. It's been long overdue. We were super excited to talk to Miriam and had a really great conversation. I think we've done a lot. We've dedicated a lot of space to covering rum happenings in Oaxaca, and haven't as much other regions of Mexico, such as Michoacán. So getting to dig into that, you know, everyone has seen the ubiquitous blue bottle Uruapan Charanda, but they're doing a lot of other super cool, exciting stuff, and we dug into all that. But before we get to the interview, John, we have a couple of agenda items. One of which we discussed. It was a crazy idea that you cooked up, that you threw out there on our last episode. That got a pretty good response. It was inspired by during our trip to Maine Rum Company when we were tasting casks in the warehouse. It was in the 40s, and the rum was a lot colder than we were used to drinking. Right. And your thought was, you know, how much does rum change drinking it in 40-degree temperatures versus drinking it at, you know, normal room temperature, like we usually do. And we put the call out there to the listeners to say, hey, we want to make this an open experiment. What are some rums that are widely available to people that we could say, hey, we're going to do this experiment with rum X. What should we choose? And we got a lot of great responses, like thanks to everyone who wrote in via email or on social media, Discord. And overwhelmingly, tons of people requested either El Dorado 12 or El Dorado 15.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I mean, it's not weird in the sense that is a very widely, very widely available rums, and it's a well-respected brand, but it was just kind of eerie almost how it was. Right. It felt like every person we heard from said that. Yeah. It was almost
and they were like waiting in the wings to say it. Almost.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
So to make this easy, and because we think El Dorado 12 is a fantastic rum, we're going to select El Dorado 12 for this. Widely available, like we said, and it's a little cheaper than the 15 as well. So that's kind of what gave it the edge in deciding between the two.
And also a rum we really like and are somewhat familiar with.
Yes,
right? So
that's
I think
another
that
good
helps.
point. Yeah. So how do we want people at home to do this experiment? Like, what are the parameters?
Yeah, well, so I think first of all, we don't have to have everyone stick exactly to the parameters that we're about to lay out. Like if you just want to have fun and, you know, chill and try this alongside us, that's fine too. But I think, Will, we wanted to maybe take it one step further and say, okay, if we're going to try this chilled, just so you and I can be on the very same page with it, what temperature do we consider chilled in the first place? And as you mentioned, in the 40s seems about right, which is, loosely, it's like refrigerator temperature anyways.
Yeah.
So this is, about taking that rum that you would usually try at room temperature. Let's put it in the fridge, chill it down to 40 degrees, essentially, is what we're going to try. I'll have my very scientific laser temperature gauge that I'll try to get to 40 degrees with. And
I'll be using my meat thermometer.
Is it the one connected to your phone? Or are you going to have it?
No, I do have one of those. I do have a meter, but it's kind of overkill for that. I'll just use the standard one, that we keep in the kitchen.
Okay. So we're both going to try to get to 40 degrees, and we're going to try these separately, you and I, right? We're not going to share our thoughts to begin with, and then come back and discuss to see. We're going to taste them at that chilled temperature, and those of you who want to play along at home as if it were, you can do that. And then also 75-ish degrees we're thinking is room temperature.
I just say like whatever the room temperature is, just go for that.
Unless you live in the Arctic Circle, in which case maybe that's different for you. But roughly, I would say 70, 75 degrees is room temperature.
Just straight out of whatever the rum is, straight out of the bottle, pour it into the glass and drink it at that. That's what I'm gonna do. I do think we're actually not going to do this separately though. We're going to do something a little bit fun
Oh,
And
that's right.
we're going to do
Yes.
this. We'd already forgotten.
Yeah.
So every month we do a happy hour on Zoom for our Patreon community. And so what we're going to do is John and I are going to do this live and invite, anyone who's joining the happy hour to want to do it alongside with us to do it as well. So we're going to do it live on Zoom. And so if you're in the Patreon community and attend the happy hours, that's coming up. And if you want to just do it on your own at home, that's totally fine as well. We're basically, I think by the time we do another, it might be a couple episodes from now, in a future introduction episode, we'll share our findings. So do it at your own pace. Send us your emails in. Let us know what the experience was like for you. And John, what do you think about order? Because I was thinking it makes most sense to do cold first and then room temp, but I'm open to other approaches and other schools of thought there.
I hadn't even considered that, and it is a really maybe pertinent question here. I'm almost tempted to do both, like on separate days. Like
Okay.
try chilled then room temperature one
Yeah.
day, and then another day try room temperature and then chilled, and
Yeah.
see if that brings any difference in it. But to your point, I did forget, and we do want to do this as an experience on the happy hour. So maybe that's what we do. We do on the happy hour, we'll do chilled, then room
Yeah.
temperature. And then on a separate day, we can do room temperature, then chilled.
Yeah. And that happy hour is going to be on March 26th. So we're recording March 12th, so it's just 2 weeks from today. So yeah, looking forward to that. Okay, all that said, John, we have one other item to get to. We've been having this ongoing Rumcast Cask Project, our journey we've been sharing with the podcast of purchasing a single cask of rum and releasing it under our own label. One of the stages we've reached in this project is us trying to agree on a bottle. What bottle should we choose to put this in? And we recently received our second round of samples, this time in the 500 milliliter size.
Yeah.
So we did a round of 375 milliliter samples. I think that was a bonus episode for Patreon that we shared those and talked through them. But we decided to do these 500 milliliter ones in this introduction before we get to the interview with Miriam. So we have 4 to get through. We are going to put 10 minutes on the clock to give ourselves some guardrails, because I feel like, this could go off the rails quickly and we might end up arguing with each other for an hour, but we're going to put a 10-minute time limit on it, which I am getting right now. Before I start the timer, any thoughts to share going into this with people?
Just that it's an interesting thing to look at 500 milliliters, because that hasn't been something historically available for spirits, right? That's
Right.
just brand new with the TTB as of, I think it was January, where they said that 500 milliliter is now something that can hold spirits in the United States. So that part kind of spurred us on to check these sizes and see. And I'm sure we'll talk now about our thoughts on the size in general, as well as the 4 bottles that we have.
Yeah, I think there's still some unanswered questions for us a little bit, because we've raised this 500 milliliter idea, and some people who are bottlers have been like, oh yeah, like you should be able to do that, and then others have been like, you might want to check and make sure that that's
Right.
allowed in every state, that kind of thing. So like I'm a little, I have some concerns about like we probably have to answer some questions, because the worst possible thing would be to do our first bottling in a bottle that we find out we can't sell. That would be a huge setback, so want to avoid
rough.
that.
You'd be trying to sell it out of the back trunk of our car or something. Wait, no, that's illegal. Can't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer, and which bottle do you want to start with?
Oh God, that's a good question, because there's some interesting stuff here. I'm gonna start with the tall
How about
one.
the tallest? Okay, we're right on the same
Hey!
page. All right, I'm
All
starting
right.
starting the timer. Okay, so this is bottle number 1. I would say don't pay attention to the stopper.
Yeah,
we
I
didn't.
replaced it, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't ask for specific stoppers, so some of them just came with like random ones. So we would not be using this red stopper, at least I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
So this is like that farmhouse style bottle. Actually, one of the 375s that we got, John, I'm pretty sure is basically the same design. It's just shorter. So What are your thoughts on this one?
First thought was I aesthetically I like the bottle. It holds nice. The height I think could be helpful to it, although I think the diameter of it being a little slimmer might be challenging for a label
Yeah.
design. You kind of have to make your label taller than
Tall
wider.
and skinny. Yeah.
Right. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either, but we just have to consider that as we're doing it. I think it pours okay. I think there is a lot of glass at the bottom, so it's got a nice big chunky rim. We've talked about there's some benefits there to what do you call it, like weight distribution
Yeah.
and counterbalance. But on the other end, sustainability wise, we've talked about that's less desirable.
Heavier
So
glass, the heavier the bottle, the basically the worse it is for the environment.
yeah. What about you?
So I basically feel the same about this one as I did the 375 version, which just there's nothing offensive about it, but it also just feels very bland and I don't know. It's tricky in this size and seeing it without a label because my first instinct was this looks more like a food bottle than a rum bottle
Yes.
to me.
Okay, well, you're not the
So-
only one who thought that.
Okay.
My daughter said it looks like olive oil should be in it.
Yes. It looks like an olive oil bottle. It's a little thick for that maybe, but it's definitely like, and some of that could be the size too, you know, but that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like if we ended up having to use a bottle like this, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be devastated, but there's nothing about it that excites me, I guess.
Same. I don't
Okay.
hate it, but it wouldn't really stick out to me. Yep.
Okay.
All right, you
You want me to
want to
pick
try
the
to
next
match
one?
up
Okay.
match up on the next one? All right, I'm gonna go with what I'm calling the barrel bottle. Which one were you thinking?
Is that this one?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm holding. We're doing video for this, by the way. So if you're listening, this is on YouTube. You'll be able to see these bottles in real time. As you can see, John has the what is that tea again that you
It
put
is
in the
tea.
bottle?
Yeah. My
I
wife
actually
made
I haven't
tea.
done a pour test for any of these or anything. I'm just going purely off aesthetics. So as you can see, I'll just point it out for viewers. It has this kind of like ridged design, and then
Yeah.
it has these sort of square and rectangular sections that go for where you would affix a label. So
Right.
there's a big one on, I guess this would be the front, and then there's a
I would
smaller
assume.
one on the back for a
Yep.
rear label.
Yep.
So it kind of like you can't use this bottle and not use a label that is exactly shaped like these.
Which is really limiting in one way.
Yes. So that just for starters, I did not like. Secondly, I think bottles that have this kind of like paneled look can look good. This
Agreed.
to me looks like someone tried to do that, but made it just ended up looking cheap as hell. It just looks like a cheap bottle to me, which it is a cheap bottle. So, but it very much looks like one to me, and it was kind of an instant turn off. I don't like being boxed in by the label patches, and on top of that, it looks like something is trying to be fancy, but failing to me.
Yeah. Again, I gotta agree with you here. As surprising as it is, I see something that is interesting in this bottle. The reason I wanted to sample, I think we both wanted to sample,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
because we're trying to see what works in some sort of an outstanding or a unique way that might be eye-catching or just different, you know?
Yeah.
And not that everything has to be different, but just curiosity, I guess, more than anything. I called it the barrel bottle because it kind of reminds me of a barrel, like
Yeah, I
if
can see
somebody
that.
poorly executed that idea. I don't mind the diameter again. I don't mind the height of the bottle.
Yeah.
I think it pours okay. But yeah, I'm with you that these bottles, all of them, like most, are half designed. So they're like, you know, the two halves are stuck together and you see the seam, right? Which
Yeah.
is not super offensive, except when your whole bottle thing is like these little facets going around the entire
Right.
thing.
Right.
And then they're interrupted on two sides and it just makes it kind of look inconsistent and cheap. So
Yeah.
it's not my favorite.
All right, we got a little under 5 minutes left. So
Okay, we're doing
I think
okay.
it makes sense to end with the one that is the most unique. So
Okay.
for the third
All right.
one, we'll go for the squatty bottle. I guess the squatty apothecary style bottle is kind
Yeah.
of how I think about it. It sort of
Yeah.
looks like it has like up at the top like a big lip around the
It's got a chunky stopper diameter. Yeah,
Yeah, and then when you take off the lid, that lip is so big, it almost looks
it
like
is.
something that like a potion would go into.
It does.
Um, so what were your thoughts on this one?
I gotta tell you, I don't mind this one. I kind of like it. It's like you said, it's got that vintage apothecary style to it
Yeah,
in a way. I think you could do a lot with a label on this bottle that could either help or hurt it.
yeah.
So to me, this is a little bit more of a nice blank canvas.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little big in terms of diameter for me, but what I like about it is it's not too big to hold on to. It feels
Yeah.
fine in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and those rounded edges on the bottom appeal to me. Everything's kind of rounded here, with the exception of the lip,
Yeah.
as you mentioned. And aesthetically, I like it. It kind of feels like a little rum grenade. I, I like it.
So this was the one. I guess this slightly spoilers how I feel about the fourth, but this was the one out of all of them that I would say I liked.
Okay.
So we're in agreement there. I agree. A lot of width to do something with a label. We're working with a label designer right now, so once we start having concepts, I'd want to actually like see what the label looks like on this,
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
with maybe our favorite 375 that we looked at
Mhm.
earlier, and then really
Mhm.
starting to get a feel of it. But I like this. I think it's different. It does feel comfortable, and the label real estate is good. So we're weirdly in agreement. So let's see if this fourth one can break us.
Yeah. What one quick thing before we move on? I know we're timed. Is I
Yeah.
would love to see, since you have a lot of real estate on the top of the stopper with this one,
Mm-hmm.
how we might be able to utilize that effectively for something if we were to choose this one.
Rumcast logo, maybe. It's a round.
Ah,
It's a round logo. So
actually, I can't believe I hadn't thought of that, but I really like that idea. That is
yeah.
cool. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Fourth and final.
fourth and final.
Okay. I'm really interested to see your thoughts on this one.
So I'm glad that you have liquid in it and I don't.
Yeah.
For those who are not watching, this one is by far the most different because it is frosted glass.
Yep.
Something that John and I have discussed before. So label, if you're not familiar with what frosted glass is, like the Diplomatico Reserva Exclusiva bottle is frosted glass.
Terroir Volcanique.
Terroir Volcanique.
Both of those are green frosted.
Yeah, they're green frosted. What really makes this one unique, because I have not seen a rum bottle or like any kind of brown spirits bottle. This is a clear frosted bottle. So
Right.
as you can see with John's, you see that brown liquid. Usually you don't see the color of the liquid on these frosted bottles. So I will just say, for me, the first thing I noticed when I saw this bottle was that it looked dirty. I don't know if this comes through my shitty webcam. It's kind of hard
Yeah.
to tell, but it's very like, it's not even frosting. It almost,
It's not
it has like a
consistent.
very smudgy look to
Yeah.
it. Like you frosted it and then someone kind of like put their fingers all over it.
Yep.
So that was kind of a turnoff to me right away. I don't like it. I really don't like it. And my fear is, and I'm seeing it with your bottle now, I feel like when you put a brown spirit in here, I don't feel like it's flattering to the liquid. It makes it makes it feel like you can't see through it. It gives it a muddiness, sort of.
It does.
And
It does.
That to me, I don't want people to think we're selling them, water from the Mississippi River. Oh, that's our timer. Okay, we'll go an extra 2 minutes so you can get your thoughts in.
All right, just real quickly. I can't disagree with you, although there is a charm to this. I'm just gonna counterbalance you. There's some charm to it. I agree with you. One of my I think my other daughter said it looks dirty. Is exactly what she said, just like you. And I noticed, because it's inconsistent in its frosting, that's a thing. Also, if you wet it, and this is weird, but if you wet it, the frosting kind of goes away. You can see right through.
Oh,
Not that-
weird.
Yeah. I don't know if that shows up on the camera well enough.
It does look more
Yeah.
transparent. Yeah.
So it's an interesting bottle. I'm not sure it's worth the effort to be different. And honestly, at the end of the day, Will, I think you're right. There's a reason brown spirits don't go into frosted bottles. and it's because it just kind of doesn't present as well as clear. So, regrettably, in a way, because I do think it's super different. I'm with you on dropping it.
Okay, well, no fireworks this time around. We still haven't we haven't like found a bottle yet where one of us really likes it and one of us really doesn't like it. It's kind
Yeah.
of weird.
Well, we're not doing it scattershot either, right?
That's
So,
true.
we picked these four because we thought they had potential,
Yeah.
as opposed to just, hey, just send some our way.
Yeah.
So there's that. But all right, cool.
All
Well,
right.
we're closer than we were 10 minutes ago, Will, or
Yes,
12.
we were. I'm sure we'll have ongoing conversations about these, but it sounds like we've found some common ground. Okay. With all that said, very excited to get to this interview with Miriam Pacheco. Anything stand out to you from this interview, John? Just like what should people look forward to in it?
There's two things that stand out to me. The first is the history behind the distillery being more than 100 years old. I don't
Yeah.
know how well known that is. Obviously, it says it like on the label, and we even call that out during the interview, like since 1907. So
Right.
it's been a while. But at the same time, it's not something at the forefront for me that to realize how familial this rum has been, that it's been in her family that long, and she's
Yeah.
the latest in a line of that, is a really cool thing that it's not common to see that kind of lineage. It does
Yeah.
happen, but it's not common. And then the second quick thing was I really enjoy her design perspective. And so it's funny we're talking about bottles right now
Yeah.
and that connection there, because man, she just nails it with what she does with the single cane varietals. Look so great. The
Yeah.
labels, the bottles, the single Agricola bottle. I love that bottle in the label. So, I think they're really doing, this is well beyond the rum, right? And we talk a lot about the rum, but we
Yeah.
know if you're going to have somebody on the Rumcast, it's good rum, right?
Yeah.
So if we're
Yeah.
doing a feature length interview, it's good rum. And just her perspective on presenting that is really cool. What about you?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just another kind of data point in this Mexican rum, Mexican cane spirits, revival, not even revival necessarily, but just kind of like coming to the forefront, being promoted internationally, no longer just being this kind of, thing that's consumed locally, and also doing some exciting new things with it. So as I mentioned earlier, we've talked to a lot of the Oaxacan producers. Charanda is very similar to aguardiente. And that's another funny thing is like, Miriam really doesn't think of this as rum, and we get into that, and it totally makes sense too. But Charanda and aguardiente are very similar in a lot of ways. Most of the difference comes down to geography most of the time. So just getting to see another side of Mexican cane spirits, I think is great, on top of everything you said. So if you get excited about just, finding interesting rums from emerging regions, this is definitely an episode for you. Whether you're a cane juice rum person, a molasses rum person, they do stuff with both. So there's something here for everybody. So anyway, I think that covers it. Without further ado, let's get on over to the interview. All right, we are here with Miriam Pacheco, the general manager of Uruapan Charanda and associated. There's all kinds of products that come out of your facilities. I think Sol Tarasco is another brand.
Yeah.
So it feels like every time I turn around, there's an interesting new Uruapan related product. But we're really excited. We were just talking about how excited we are about the category Mexican cane spirits. So very excited to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this time, and I love it. I am like a parent talking about Miranda, so just
You're glowing. You're glowing. Yes.
I'm like, yes.
I do. Speaking of glowing, this feels like a really silly way for me to start this conversation, but I can't help but like the enduring memory in my mind of Uruapan Charanda is going into the store probably like 5 years ago. It's been around for a while now in the States, and looking at the shelf and seeing this bright glowing blue bottle,
Very distinct. Yeah.
it's so you can't ignore it if you see it in a store, which I think is really fitting because the rum that's in the bottle is very distinctive and fun and flavorful. And it's been really cool over the past few years going from seeing it, starting to see it in stores. And now I was just in a bar in my neighborhood this weekend, and I was ordering a cocktail. I was kind of looking at the rum section back there on the bar. And honestly, they didn't have much stuff that was that interesting, but they did have this bottle back there, and it stands
Uh,
out right away.
that's
Um,
more than enough for you.
exactly. Yeah. I knew I was at least in good hands once I saw this. But I have to ask again, silly way to start the interview, but how did the bottle end up being blue? Like, was this a big decision a bunch of people arrived at, or was it just did it just
Stroke of
happen? Yeah.
genius.
How did that come together?
A friend, Fernando, he was a friend and the designer of the labels.
Mm-hmm.
He died some years ago.
Oh no, I'm sorry to
In
hear that.
fact, we went to, we're going to put his name in the next labels.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
cool.
you can honor him.
but
Yeah.
he had that great idea because of the butterflies. You know, the monarchs are flying from Canada, and now
Right.
they are
Mm-hmm.
here. During the winter, they are here in Michoacán with the babies, and they fly to the States and then to Mexico, to Michoacán,
Mm-hmm.
and then back to Canada. They don't care about taxes, Trump, Trudeau, wars or whatever.
The butterflies are free to just come and go. Yeah.
And it's about the sky, and you can see the butterflies. Can you show again
I can.
you
Oh
can
yeah, the butterflies right there on that side.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
and the sky.
Oh, in the sky, like the blue sky.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Oh, okay.
I know I've seen the butterflies on the label before, but I honestly don't know that I ever really registered them totally. I think just because the I see the blue first, and
Yeah,
that's
it
like
stands
that's
out.
all my and then like the all the details you worked into the label about the rum and everything. You have highlighting Michoacan, where it comes from, right there. It's a really well done bottle.
Yeah.
It's like somehow visually striking, but also educational. And now we know the
Yeah.
butterflies have a
Uh,
piece of the story as well.
I'm now
uh,
jealous of these butterflies because they've been to Michoacan and Canada, and I haven't even been.
Yeah.
no, please come. You're gonna be safe with me. Trust me. Uh, and it's so beautiful, and you can have the food that's amazing, and the place around it's so beautiful. So you're really welcome to come.
All right. Well, we've got a whole Mexican tour we need to do, John, because I know we've
Yes.
had similar conversations with your friends in Oaxaca as well. So we just need to go do a whole cross country tour, I think.
Yep.
Um, okay, we'll come back to the blue bottle at some point, I'm sure. I poured one of the things that I love about it is how great it is and really simple drinks. Like I really like to just drink it with some Topo Chico, a little lime juice, something like that. I don't have any Topo Chico right now, but I did have some ginger beer, and I'd never mixed this with ginger beer before, but I thought why not give it a try? And it actually works pretty well. So I'm enjoying that right now. But if listeners hear any like ice clinking, I usually don't drink cocktails during interviews, but I had to for this one. So
Good.
um, before we get too far, I think we need to back up because another thing on the label that stands out immediately is the top around the neck where it says since 1907,
Yeah.
which is such a cool contrast because I think for the average rum consumer in the United States, Mexican cane spirits are something they've really only started to experience in the last few years. But as we've learned in our other interviews, these are traditions that go way back. So I'd love to know how your family got into Charanda in production in the first place. Take us back to 1907 or wherever the story begins.
These guys behind, and some girls as well, but they are there. But
Uh-huh.
my the father of my great great grandpa,
Wow.
5 generations,
Wow.
I mean, before 1907, they made just mezcal,
So the
uh,
mezcalistas, yeah.
mezcal
Mm-hmm.
here in Michoacán. And from 1907, he started with this guy here with
Right there.
with sugarcane spirits.
There we go. Now we can see their
Well,
faces a little.
Yeah.
I have another words, but
Wow.
um, with sugarcane spirits, because he thought he knew how to make spirits, I mean mezcal, and if you know that, it's easier to do and with any other. So because of the profit, he started with sugarcane
Mm.
and with piloncillo. You know what is piloncillo?
Where it's like the kind of hard, those like almost dark cones of sugar, sort of, right?
Yeah.
This is juice, uh, pure juice that it's
Mm-hmm.
boiling and boiling, and it becomes a caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the past, many people, we can do it as well here. And you can storage when the bricks are higher.
Okay.
You can harvest the sugarcane and you can storage the piloncillo. And then when you want to make aguardiente or charanda, you ferment, you add water again and ferment it. But that was common in the past. So it was with juice and with pure juice or piloncillo.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because here in this area we have sugarcane since 1544. You need to help me with the years.
1544 sounds right.
1544,
Yeah.
yeah.
About 500 years ago.
About. Because in Mexico, about 1520, 2022. And in America, 1493.
Mm-hmm.
But in Mexico, 1522, and in
Okay.
Michoacán, 1544. It was common to do it, of course, like many spirits, and it was forbidden for many
Mm.
centuries because Spain wanted to protect
Oh, right.
the spirits coming from Spain.
Right.
Yeah.
Brandy and wines and things like that.
Yeah, went wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is not a problem for us. So anyway,
So
so,
you're yeah, I was gonna say your great grandfather starts this, and then is it an immediate hit? Is it like, hey, this worked and let's keep going with this, or did they have to figure some things out? Do you know anything about that period of time?
from 1907 until today, it's one of the brands in Mexico that it has been Uruapan
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
always in the market. Always.
So
Wow.
from then to now, nonstop.
From not,
Wow,
no.
that
What's
is
the
super cool.
what's the oldest bottle of Uruapan that you have there
I
with you?
have it here, but I will show you. We have time. I have it right here in a
Okay.
box.
Oh, we're definitely gonna have time. I
Yeah.
have to see that. Yeah.
But also a very nice story because my great great grandpa was sick, and some people started to do copies.
Mm-hmm.
They with Uruapan copies, but it was fake.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
Yeah. That's when you know you're
So
onto something because people want to fake it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so she started to sign every bar. She
Ah,
Oh.
like it is not legitimate, or how do you say? It's not
legitimate.
legitimate if my signature is not here.
Right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
But can you imagine a town, a woman with 8 kids, and
Wow.
signing the files? It was like, what? In a spirit industry? It was,
Yeah.
yeah. and it was crazy.
She
So
was badass.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the label now. I feel like it needs your signature on here
I was
somewhere
going to
now.
say the same thing. Yes. When do we get your signature on that bottle?
well, that one is not false. You can share.
So Miriam, actually, this is good to ask then. At what point in your life then did you know you were going to be continuing in this line, this tradition of your family for more than 100 years? Your grandfathers, and it sounded like, was it your grandmother or your mother that was signing the bottles? I wasn't sure, but you're at some point going to get involved in this. Did you always just know that this was going to be what you did, or did you have to make a decision at some point in your life? You know what? I'm going to follow my family's business.
Uh, no, I am not. A lot of people sometimes they ask me, "Do you have dreams?" And I am like, "No, I really don't." And the guy who asked me, he was like surprised about my answer, but it's because I have maybe dreams every day.
You're
My
living your
dreams
dreams. Yeah.
So it's easier to change the dream or to to be focused on something because I am very like every day I'm here at 7 a.m. I'm always like very, but I am not like because I think some things can change in any moment and you
Mm-hmm.
can be ready to change your dreams as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
Absolutely.
at that time, I was studying in Vancouver and in Kansas just for high school because my dad wanted that it was something nice that I could learn some English. And
Mm.
last so I when I came back, when I finished high school, just for 1 year out of the country, I started that summer working at the distillery when I was 18.
Okay.
Wow.
Where,
So
where were you in Kansas, by the way?
Atchison, a very small town.
Atchison?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
I lived in Kansas when I was like ages 3 to 7 years old. It was, I don't know how close to Atchison it is. It was Fort Leavenworth, which is a
Really?
small army base town, and there's a big prison there as well. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it's known for. But
So it was
anyway,
nothing there, just studying and the snow. This
yeah. There's just open fields and nothing to do basically.
but
Is
beautiful. I enjoyed it. That was so beautiful.
So you started working at the distillery at 18. What was your first job?
Buying bottles, boxes, helping my brother to
Okay.
buy cups and boxes, and that was my first helping with the calling the suppliers and yeah,
Hmm.
and organizing the place with the labels and with everything. That
Very glamorous work to start out, it
yeah.
sounds like.
Yeah. At that time, that was my first one. I was very proud, like calling like that. And I remember visiting some suppliers with my dad, and they were like, what are you doing here?" Because it was, if now it's a man business,
Yeah,
many years ago it was like, and no, almost no girls around.
right. I'm
Yeah,
sure that was tough.
yeah. No, but
No, not tough at all.
Miriam said, nope, busted through
Not for
that door,
me.
started
Yeah.
doing some labels, and said, what's next? So, Miriam, maybe we should also talk about Charanda as a spirit, of course, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that exactly the way it should be, but
no, it's
um,
okay.
okay. She's like, yeah, you're good enough.
Good
And
You're
job.
good.
we have female and male in Spanish.
Right.
Yes, yes.
So
So
charanda it would be female
feminine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because also means a red soil.
Yes, I saw that also that it means the red soil, and that's from the Michoacán soil. There is that where it's named from. Yeah.
Sí.
And I wanted to ask, so for people that might be a little less familiar with charanda as a spirit as a whole, and you had mentioned to us even that, you know, rum, although they're both cane spirits, it's a little bit different, and that you weren't even really aware of rum as something prior to, you just thought of it as this is charanda, and this is, you know, a different thing. So I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit about, in your mind, what is charanda? What makes it different than rum or aguardiente or other cane spirits products that are out there, and see if you can give us a little bit of insight into the flavors and the experience as well.
Yeah, of course, it's sugarcane, so of course it's similar than rum, but it's like saying, for example, brandy and cognac.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I gotcha.
yeah, it's the same. So it's made here in this beautiful place in Michoacán, where it's very high from sea level. We have a river here, like we have spring water, and we have the youngest volcano in the world.
Oh, the youngest volcano in the world?
Yeah,
Wow.
so he is because it's a boy, 83 years old.
Wow.
Okay. Has it erupted before?
See, of course, when my dad was a kid, and he told me that everything was covered of how do you say
Ash?
yes.
Wow.
Huh. I'm not sure if it's worse to have an oldest volcano or a
Or
youngest
youngest-
volcano.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah,
They're
which
both
one?
probably you have to be careful with.
Yeah.
Because I started from nothing, from the beginning. So the family who had that property with a cornfield, they say still now that it's their volcano because it was their property.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's definitely worse to have the youngest volcano because, like, you know, an old volcano, you know it's there. You're not gonna like do stuff on it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a volcano. But like a youngest it comes up in your backyard, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
heck, man?
And you're like,
Yeah.
what is coming now?
Yeah.
So we answered that question. Okay.
You can check it. You can Google it. It's Parikuti, the name, but it's true and it's beautiful. We can go there if you come, and we can cook some apples or potatoes.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Just right there on the volcano?
Yeah.
Yes, it's here.
One of the I keep talking about the label, but one of the things that I like about it is, you know, it says charanda on it, and it also says single blended rum, and I'm making air quote. There's quotation marks around rum. I wanted to ask at what point, like, was this the first label that you ever put the word rum on? Like, when did you kind of realize, okay, if we're going to sell this in other places, maybe we should put the word rum on there? Did you have to think about that a lot? Was that a big decision?
We had no option. It
Okay.
was TTB.
The TTV, they
TTV
told
was
you.
like, nope.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But he allowed us to put the
I'm surprised that they even allowed that, because we hear all kinds of stories about what the TTP decides to not allow on labels.
Right.
So
Right.
I got him
but
on a
that's
nice day.
the story,
Yeah.
because William, our importer, it was like pushing and pushing. It's not rum, it's not rum. And
uh-huh.
like, it's rum, it's okay, rum. Okay. So that's the story. We are not allowed.
I bet they wouldn't let you put the scare quotes around rum on the bottle label.
No, okay, really. So that's the story. That's why. Okay, rum.
Rum. We'll try to stick with charanda for the rest of the episode and not let rum slip in there.
That's right.
I want to talk a little about the actually how you make the product, because I've seen some of the videos there, and again, going back to the label, when you look at it at the bottom, it says 50% estate grown cane juice, copper pot still, 50% molasses, modified French style column still. So obviously you have two different production processes. I think I've seen the old. I think you call them like Filipino style pot stills.
We have three or four styles, but for states we use two.
Two. Okay.
We don't send Filipino style uh, because we have Filipino very small clay pot stills.
Okay.
We have copper pot stills.
Mm-hmm.
We have copper pot stills with a small column, 5 plates. We have columns short, and we have very tall, not very, but tall columns that we mm, modified in COVID, during COVID for alcohol.
Okay.
So we have some are not working, but during our history,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't matter for us because the copper pot stills, they slept for 20 years.
Right. Right.
And then they are working like very hard now.
Uh-huh.
But some of the columns are sleeping.
They just there's always going to be some type of still that's working. Yeah, some might
Yeah,
have to take a break every once in a while.
yeah.
So, do,
For some centuries, maybe
uh-huh.
we, I don't know what is happening in the future, but until now we have been stopping some process, and because it depends on the market and depends on what's going on with the molasses.
Mm.
Because we have two here close here in Michoacán, two sugar factories,
Okay.
but they could have some problems or whatever, and they could stop processing the same amount, or the states are buying the molasses and they increase the prices, and so it depends. And in more than a century, we need to we need to change and to be ready for almost everything, almost everything.
Almost everything, right? Well, and I guess that's part of the beauty of having so many different stills, also
Yeah.
different sugarcane byproducts to work with. You have the juice, you have molasses, and so yeah, you can
Piloncillo.
change. Yeah, piloncillo, you can change and adjust depending on all those external forces at work. Did I hear correctly that you said the rum from the Filipino stills, the clay stills, that none of that comes to the United States? Is that correct?
Oh,
No,
Okay,
that,
so
wow.
we
that
have to come to
is
Michoacan to get
CU.
that.
Yeah.
because the batches are about 20, 25 liters. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's just a little. We have, and for the states, we have the copper pot stills
Mm-hmm.
that they are not big. We have two that they are about a little bit less than 1,000 liters. The
Okay. So
Hmm.
still like small batch kind of production when it comes to
yeah.
those pot stills. Do you the clay pot stills, do you just sell that rum? Do you blend it in anything, or is it just always sold by itself?
And it's local,
Okay.
or also we have some casks.
It probably takes a long time to fill a couple of barrels with that rum since it's so small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Huh.
but usually it's a local thing.
Anything special planned for some of those casks? Have you released any of them before?
No, No, but maybe we're talking with William. Maybe we're selling the first one to the States.
Ooh.
Ah, very
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
So,
We'll bookmark that to talk about later at the end when we
Yeah.
talk about the
and
future.
we're planning, but maybe the one because we have one with that product, ex cachaça.
Oh, ex cachaça
Ah.
cask.
So
Is
because we
that
are playing with some different casks, so we have most of the casks we have, of course, they are American casks, but we have some French, some Hungarian, and some from Spain, and some
sherry barrels, perhaps?
see,
Yeah.
like we have a lot that they are big, not a lot, but for us, um, 10, it's a lot.
Wow. Yeah. Is
Uh,
the is the cachaça barrel, is it ambarana wood? Ah,
Mhm.
see. Okay.
Claro, claro.
Very interesting.
Sí. It's
Well,
so let's see.
yeah.
We love that to play and to blend and to
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like most of the stuff we get here is all the unaged. I think there's one aged release, if I remember right,
with
available
mushroom,
here.
with
Yeah.
mushroom.
Ah, the Sol Tarasco, right. But other than
Actually,
that,
Also,
I
also
see
Uruapan.
the
See,
bottle like this. It's not blue, but it's the same
yeah,
bottle shape with the
añejo. Yeah,
yeah,
you're
the
right.
añejo.
We
yeah.
have to, and also we have the one ex Fortaleza.
Oh, wow. You have an Ex Fortaleza? Ooh.
Oh, ex Fortaleza. Oh, okay.
But I think it's gone because it was just 2 casks, and I think it was ordered the first week.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Yeah, that's a popular brand and my
I have,
favorite. Yeah.
I will show you because I am in that label with Guillermo, so it's nice label.
Ah, is your
I will
signature on it?
no, and Guillermo's dog is there, but not my dog, just me.
um, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of the aged stuff maybe available in the future because I certainly love the unaged. And speaking of, I know Will got to mention the blue bottle, and it's one of his favorites. One of my favorites, Miriam, is the single Agricola release, and then also the cane varietals that I know have just recently come out. I wanted to ask you more about that. Now, first, let me make sure my understanding. It's a single Agricola, so you're growing the cane there, and you're harvesting, and you're going all the way through. So, as this farm to glass spirit that you have, how involved are you in each part of that process with your team, and are there special characteristics that make that Uruapan with that cane different or unique or special to you?
Oh, we love that because we it was common for us to know what kind of sugar we have or what. So it was easy to and the people, what kind of sugar do you have? And most of the sugar cane we have is cristalina y criolla.
Uh huh.
Mm.
And but also we have the others, and we were thinking like it. I think it would be very nice if you can try the difference, and it's like something nice for the plant. I mean, for the sugar cane
Mm-hmm.
to give it more respect, like
Yeah.
they are different, like people, even if we look the same, we are different, and
Yes. Yes.
and it was nice, and we love that. And the difference with the other Agricola, the classic, is that it's separated, and for the other could be a blend,
Okay.
and also it's 49, and the other one it's 46.5.
Right. So it's
Let me,
bumped up a little bit in terms of the alcohol by volume. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
wait.
yes.
I'm sorry. So
No, we love visuals.
Oh yes, and these bottles are phenomenal looking. Also, by the
um,
way, really love them. Yeah.
this is Mayari. This one I think it's just in Florida, but because the batches are not big, of course.
That's
but
right,
it's
Will.
so
Just in Florida.
beautiful.
I'm in Miami, so I can grab that one.
That's nice. So I love them, and this is a classic.
That I love that bottle too. It's so
Yeah,
good. Yes.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Do you,
love it.
do you think, Miriam? I know that there's a DO there, like a GI, and we want to talk about that more later. Do you feel like that there's the terroir in Michoacan has reflects in the final product for you?
Yeah, yeah, of course. In any product, I guess, is part of the product. Each product, again, it's about. I never say, "Oh, I like this. This rum is just different," and it's the beauty of rum because charanda is charanda because, like me, we are from Michoacán. We are different. We
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not better, not worse. It's we are part of here, and it's they are growing between mangoes, bananas, avocados, berries, the soil, the
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
everything. And so makes unique and different, like people, like every spirits, like lands. We are different, and everything that is around, and we have influence about
Yeah.
everything that we have around, like
Yeah.
spirit.
Is there anything in the Charanda denomination of origin? Is it mostly driven by the location, so needing to be made in this specific part of Michoacan, or are there also production requirements? Like if you took the way they make aguardiente in Oaxaca and you made it the exact same way, but in Michoacan, would it then be charanda? Or are there things about the production process that have to be different as well?
They have some rules, for example, I mean, if you about the columns, for example, no, I don't know how to explain, no continuous, no,
Not
No continuous
continuous
column. Yeah.
distillation?
or for example, the casks, the side of the casks.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, and some things we are changing some things because some things they were just because tequila was the first DO in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and some things are very old and just a copy paste from tequila,
Yeah.
and it's not for charanda. So we are adjusting that and those rules because it's not for charanda. But it's very difficult because most of the producers they don't exist anymore.
Mm.
So we are very just maybe two or three distilleries,
Okay. Wow.
and 100 years ago, like 100 or more distilleries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to push a change in rules, if you are very lonely, it's very hard because if you, for example, mezcal or tequila, they can push because they are a group
A lot of
and
people, right?
a
Yeah.
lot of people, and they
Yeah.
can ask the government and do this and that. But with us, it's one of the smallest DO in the world, and in Mexico, and it's very now we're just two or three producers.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I was going to ask because I think I saw that the DO first was, came to life. Was it 2003? Is that the year,
Yes.
Miriam? Yeah. How was there? Did it take a lot of work to get the government to recognize that? What do you remember what that process was like? I don't know. If you were 18 years old and
I was
still
a baby, but don't it was more my brothers, my
okay.
Hmm.
brothers. They did everything with my dad and with some other producers. That they some of them they are dead. I mean, they were working and working and doing a great job for that and protecting because they were very proud. And as you said, it's about ADO, it's about culture, about
Yeah.
to protect what they have done and all that. But it was because it's not that you invent a deal, it's that you protect the deal with documents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, there are some other spirits that they are not protected in Mexico, like Posh, let's say,
Ah,
or
Posh.
Simara.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you need to prove with documents that it has been from one generation to another, that it's unique, that it's something about culture, that it's different, that many documents
Yeah.
uh, based on that on international documents and rules that you need to follow to get that DO. So it's hard, but yeah, sadly we are just 2 or 3 producers now.
Yeah. We have to do our part to make you and those other producers less lonely because it's
Yeah.
phenomenal stuff. And before we move away too far from the single cane varietal releases, I got to try them in Miami Rum Congress where I got to see you there, and that was nice to finally be able to try all of them, in one sitting and get some of the differences in the different cane varieties there. I wanted to know, was that your idea to start doing that, or whose idea was that? And then how long has that been in the process? You just now released these just a few months back. How long did it take you to get there?
It was my idea, but as any idea, uh,
Involves a lot of people. Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yes,
but takes a lot because it was like, no, but what if it's Filipino? No, no, because it's too small. No, but
Mm.
what, yeah, what about if it's a copper pot? But yeah, but how can we make it then like looks the same, like it's Uruapan and it's single, but not very, very different, and we can yeah, it was a
yeah,
very nice process, and I love that with no, 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 that color, no, no, the other, no, because and yeah, at the end they are a little bit related with sugarcane. For example, of course, the purple, the label, it's morada,
Yeah.
caña morada,
mm-hmm.
it means
Mm-hmm.
purple.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, Mayari, is a little bit the color of the king and
Yeah,
some things that we wanted to.
they
So
really are beautiful colors. Yeah, it
yeah,
looks
very nice.
nice. Yeah.
And did you like them?
Oh gosh, I loved them. Love. I had my favorites, of course. When you get to try, I think it's like 6 of them. And when
Wow.
you go through, 5. Okay, I was close. I had had a few by then. But when you get to try 5 of something with those single cane varietals, number one, it's an amazing experience to be able to train your palate, and you get to experience these small, subtle flavor differences. Will and I have done this before on the podcast with different types of cane varietals for other products and such, but I hadn't had a chance to do it with these yet. And knowing how much I already love the single agricola product, I knew I was going to like them. So yes, I had my favorites, I will say, but I still think all of them are so well done and so well produced, and I want to see more people be able to dig into those in the U.S. and in other places, because they're just a really high quality product. So kudos
Thank
to
you
you for
so
getting
much.
those out. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm like, thank you so much. I
And
love them, but I need to someone else to, and even more you, that you're experts to say something nice like that. I really appreciate it. Thank
we'll
you.
find some experts and we'll make sure they say something good.
I'm not in Florida like John. I'm in Tennessee, and so I'm just waiting to be able to find them.
Oh,
Where I'll have to get John to buy a few
Yeah,
extra bottles and send them my way. But because I'm
will do.
like I said,
but I think we sell in Tennessee, right? We
right,
sell.
yeah, yeah. I'm in Nashville, and I see the blue bottle and I see the añejo, but I haven't really seen the 100% cane juice products very much. So it could just be a a distribution thing, but yeah, I would love to see more of those for sure, and I'm sure a lot of
Yes.
our listeners feel the same way.
I want
Yeah,
all five. I'm gonna get
yeah,
there. Yeah.
they're so beautiful. Thank you.
I did want to ask Miriam, we you spoke a little bit about aging earlier, and it sounds like you have some really exciting things there, a lot of different cask types. When we've spoken to other cane spirits producers in Mexico, one of the things that they've often touched on is that there isn't always a long history of producers doing a lot of aging with aguardiente. I know I'm not sure if it's the same in Charanda or not, but is aging more of a new thing, or is that something that your family has been doing for a long time?
I think that thing about cask, because of the documents that I have and history books and all that, maybe a century. They started with the casks.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's been quite a while then.
Yeah, but in our family, maybe a little bit, maybe 80 years. Yeah,
By the way,
yeah,
this is I want to get back to the casks, but this question just occurred to me. When you grow up in a family that makes charanda, at what age do you get to try charanda for the first time?
not always.
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 Yeah, because it was part of for my older siblings. They were in fact living inside the distillery.
Wow.
Huh.
So it was always common for us to be in the with the finger in the pot still and crying and with playing and drinking with candy or always it was part of us and playing with the bubbles from the fermentation and we're like
Uh-huh.
yeah, like it's part of us like
Yes.
always.
It's just always there.
Yeah, there's
There's
no hiding it. Yeah. Yeah.
right, right. There's not some big event where your parents sit you down and say you're gonna
No, no,
try it.
no. It was impossible. They lost that battle. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it was just that we knew the amount. It was just part of us because I don't know how, but no, we have no any story about one of my siblings like being drunk as a kid. Never,
Never.
never. But
Right.
like we knew, I don't know why, but we knew like
Yeah.
it was
It's just
often,
instincts, right?
yeah,
Well, and when something's not off limits in that way, it loses a little bit of that,
Right.
like, ooh, like, I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah. It
get
was
into
not
that, and yeah.
forbidden, yeah. So it,
Right, right.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Back to aging really quickly. You gave us an idea of some of the casks that you have there. How large is your aging program? Like about how many casks do you have right now?
About 400.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That's
Not very, but some of them we need to check them because maybe it's like, yeah,
Angel
yeah,
share. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
What
yeah.
kinds of releases are you thinking about? I know you have the añejo that we've seen in the States. Are you thinking about doing any single barrel,
We are doing
special?
it now more single barrels.
Okay.
Well, for example, in California and some others. And for example, now we have, if you know about tequila, we have some we have Fortaleza, we have Arete, we have
Mhm.
Cascahuín, and so those are all single casks that it's for the States.
Very cool.
And also they are different sugarcane varieties. Some of the
Ah.
Castanchas Mexicana. For example, the Fortaleza one is Mexicana.
Hmm.
Ah, okay.
So there's still single varietal cane in a single cask.
Sí.
Wow.
Very. Very single. Yeah.
Very single, yeah.
Very single.
Mucho single.
Muchas single.
Do you
Let-
do you have any molasses, like all molasses charanda aging?
No,
No.
not
Okay.
now.
Just
Maybe, yeah, maybe we have 2 or 3,
okay.
but most of them they are 50-50
Okay.
or 100% juice.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, because I think every Uruapan product that I've had has had at least 50% cane juice in it. So
All right, so there's one thing we haven't touched on yet, and I wanted to make sure we get a chance to talk about, and that is the Sol Tarasco brand. Can you tell us more about Sol Tarasco? I know it involves mushrooms, but I don't know much other than that. Hongos,
Hi,
as I say, right?
can you
Uh,
see my t-shirt?
No, let
I
me
think
see.
you have to stand up.
Ah, it's got-
Mushrooms. There we
yes.
go.
Yes. She's a
Mushroom.
fun girl.
Yeah, I'm a fun girl. So,
Yeah.
do you know the story that did I tell you in Miami or no?
No, I did not get to hear it in Miami. So,
Oh, okay. So a lot of people are like, what mushroom? First of all, remember, it's not rum, it's charanda. So here in Michoacán, we have, it's raining like 6 months of the year.
okay.
Okay.
We had a lot of forest around, but I need to tell you that you guys are demanding a lot of avocados.
Yeah.
So now we are no forest anymore, and mushrooms are also decreasing.
Oh no.
But we have around many, and it was common in this and the blanco to add some local herbs, and mushrooms are very, very part of us. They are very. We eat very often mushrooms. It's part of a mystical way, part of the food, and also part of like medicine.
Yeah.
So it was like a tribute. Tribute?
Tribute.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
a
got it.
tribute to it. Is there lots of different types of mushrooms in the blend there?
It looked like a lot of different types on the shirt.
On the shirt, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but again, TTB didn't allow the best. They are good what we're sending, but not the not the original that we have here. I mean, they are from here from Michoacán, and they harvest of those mushrooms by hand,
Ah,
but they are blue indigo
Okay.
blue indigo.
and pink oyster.
Oh, okay.
But here in Michoacán, we have some others, very nice, but the TTV didn't allow, and also the cordyceps.
Oh, the cordyceps, yeah, mushrooms, yes.
It's part of us as well, and it's part of culture and part of Michoacán, and it was like a tribute about medicine, but at the beginning it was white with the mushrooms and with herbs. We have some with herbs, with local herbs. Like if you feel sick or if you are with a cold, you can drink. But then we made that version with añejo, and people loved the añejo version. So that's the story.
So do you take the charanda and you add mushrooms? Is it as simple as that and just let it sit for a little while? What is the process like?
For some months, could be 3-6 months macerating.
Wow.
Ah, okay.
But it's a beautiful mushroom. It's the one that I love is the blue indigo. It's so beautiful.
That would be my name for the bottle, by the way. I almost feel like it's blue indigo.
Yeah. After the mushrooms are finished macerating, can you eat the mushrooms that have been in the rum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
But you
Yeah.
can see them inside the bottle.
Yeah, yeah, they're in the bottle too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
okay,
see
yeah.
some of them, yeah.
I haven't seen the bottles in person, so yeah, I
It's a
definitely.
dark bottle, so I think it's maybe
Yeah.
hard to know until you pour it, but I've seen some of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anyone has the bottle at home, you can eat the mushrooms
Yeah, you
afterwards.
can get.
Saute them. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
They are healthy. Don't worry, just healthy and yeah, you're gonna be happy, and that's all. Uh,
Yeah.
I like it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Miriam, one of our traditions on the show is at the beginning of each year, John and I make some predictions about the world of rum, like things that will happen in rum. You know,
And
sometimes we'll talk,
Charanda.
and Charanda, of course, yes, Charanda, aguardiente, Claren, all the world cane spirits. And one of the topics for usually we try to focus on fun stuff, you know, good news and things. And this year, for the first time, we had to talk about something that I think is a little scary for rum enthusiasts, which is the subject of tariffs. Obviously, it's something that's been in the news, particularly with products coming from Mexico. And you know, when I started seeing news about that, the first place my mind went was, what does this mean for the Charanda producers, the aguardiente producers? How will this impact their businesses? How will it impact the types of products that we see available in the United States? So you're, you know, living through all of this right now. I know it's all very new. How is this impacting sort of how you do things at Uruapan? How are you thinking about it?
Mm, well, it's not something new for us. I mean, we have been struggling with those problems, sadly, for many years now.
Mm.
With those problems, that's why it's part of the problem that a lot of people is not in this business anymore, or they change to another business, or they are struggling, or people here. Uh, I mean, a lot of people, if they can stay, of course, they stay here in Michoacán. But if they can move to another city or or state, they move to another uh, place.
Mm.
But it's something that has been sadly part of us for many years, and we are just what we do. It's what is in our hands, like working and having our workers, and we are like family, and we stay together, and we try, as we said, doing every day what it's coming, taking decisions about what to do. And
Yeah.
but I'm trying also with the government uh, to be okay, and to do what is needed for the community, for us, for all the companies around, because we, in a way, we all are depending in this area from avocados.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And anyway, even if, like, for example, us, we are not part of that industry, but in a way we are, because we are all related. Our boilers, for example, we receive a lot of avocados that when they are, how do you say, when you cut a tree, but just to grow better. We
Oh,
receive
like trimming the tree.
tree, yeah.
Cut back. Mm-hmm.
And we receive that wood for the boilers, and also
Ah,
Gotcha.
wow.
the vinazas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vinasse. Yeah, yeah.
They Most of the vinazas are for compost and for them, because
Ah,
it's part of the process, and also the pallets in bad conditions. We use them for the boilers.
it's like a
Or
symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
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 because it's part of the system and the
Mm-hmm.
community and all that. But anyway, it's about, we are all related because it's about workers, about safety, because if they have enough employers and they are like, the economy is okay, then everybody's okay, because violence is not, it has a lot of, how do you say, aristas in español, a lot of, it's not just to one point. It's about being poor, it's about not having enough money, it's about impunity, it's about, so mm, it's it's a big problem, but let's see. I believe that the government is doing okay, and if as um, um, we are part of the problem as well in a way, because we need to get involved as a society with the government and be like what they're doing and in what way, and pushing to do their work.
Yeah.
So
So it's a community approach in the same way. And it's interesting that you bring that up, because I hadn't really thought about it. Like Will, I was thinking about, you specifically and some of the, aguardiente and rum and charanda producers. But really, it's a holistic problem. It's all of everybody that's affected, like you said.
Yeah.
And in that same kind of economy or ecosystem way, how you all work together in that way. So it's a big thing. But also, like you said, you tackle it as a community as well.
but we are all related.
Yeah,
I think you as well, because as I said, it's we are, most of the avocados that you receive, they are coming from here, from this area. And also most of the big companies, they are made, I mean, big part, they are it's an American business, an American partnership, American. It's I mean, it's we are all related.
Yeah.
The world is now like that. Not we are not separated.
Right. Right.
It's short-sighted to see it that way. Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, it's tough. Go ahead, Will. You were gonna say.
No, I was just going to say I think one of the nice things about doing the podcast is getting to meet the people, the producers who are behind these great products and doing the work, and hearing more about, we're just seeing like a sliver. I know you have lots of employees and people and family members who are involved in this. As you said, like the relationship with the avocado farmers and everything, all of this touches each other. And so I think, anytime rum producers are going through something that is challenging, I think being able to shine a light on what they're doing, and hopefully, we as rum enthusiasts will all, continue to support what you're doing, to get out there, pick up a bottle of Charanda, pick up a bottle of aguardiente, or five,
cane
exactly.
And you will love them.
Yeah, because we want, we don't want this trend that we've seen over the last 5 years or so to end. We were just talking before the show. It's like every year there's more and more of these wonderful Mexican cane spirits that people are getting to learn about here, and we see interesting different products coming from them and everything, and I just want to see more of that. So yeah. Hopefully if you're listening and find this interesting, go out and pick up a bottle of Uruapan and other Mexican cane spirits.
And for sure you will like it, because maybe you're gonna have, like John, your favorites. Maybe you like more añejo, or one of the sugarcane varieties, or the original, or the blend. I love that it's for everybody, like many styles.
Yeah. Well, but before we wrap up, is there anything else? I know you've already told us you have a few things in the works here and there, and some things aging and some things coming, but is there anything else that you want to talk about that we might be able to see in the coming years?
Those single cask, I think I love that. And I was telling William, and he was thinking the same, that I want to have some cask from America, but from small whiskey companies.
Ah, okay.
We exchange
Cool.
like, yeah,
Cask exchange.
Yeah, cask exchange is a great idea.
but with American whiskey family companies.
Yeah. Well, anyone who is listening who is connected in any way to a family American whiskey business, send Miriam an email, or if you don't know how to get in touch with her, send us an email at host@rumcast.com, and we can connect you with Miriam. I'd love to see a cask exchange
That would be
between
cool.
an American whiskey producer and Charanda. That would be phenomenal.
I would love that because, you know, I have learned a lot from my American friends and from my importers, and I love the way you see things and how much you appreciate, and I love how you celebrate others. That's
Hmm.
part of the American culture, or at least the people I know, or I
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. And I would love to do something like about the mushrooms. It's how do you say that? Tribute.
A tribute. Yes.
So it's an American tribute for look with whiskey.
Ah, yeah. That would be fun. I feel like, John, we need
That's to
to
say thank you in a way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
we need to make it our personal goal as a podcast to find the American whiskey producer to take part in this partnership.
I've got some ideas already.
I know,
We'll be in
yeah.
touch.
I mean, I'm right here in Tennessee, so
Yeah.
there's all kinds of whiskey producers here. We'll see what we can do. um, Miriam, this has been really, really fun getting
Yeah.
to learn more about Uruapan. Before we let you go, we were talking about traditions on the show. We have one last tradition, which is a special round of questions that my co-host John handles at the end of every interview. We call it the rapid fire round. What would be Spanish for rapid fire?
Rapido. Fuego rápido. I
Fuego
don't know.
rápido. That's it. Yeah, yeah. So that's what we have. John, do you want to tell Miriam about the fuego rápido round?
Sure. So the Rapido Fuego or Fuego Rapido round is going to be where I'm going to ask you, Miriam, some questions with some short prompts, and you have to answer as quickly and as short as possible. So we can
Okay.
do as many as we can in 60 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, Will's going to put
I'm
a
just-
By the way, your R is very good.
Muchísimas gracias. I'm working on it here. Thank you.
That's the
All right,
side
Will.
effect of being in Miami.
That's exactly what it is. And being married to my Cuban wife as well.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yes.
That's
yes.
why.
Okay.
Rápido.
Rápido. Rápido.
No, you're not there yet.
I'm working on it. Okay. John, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Sí, claro.
And go.
All right. Neat or on the rocks? How do you like your charanda?
Well, I cannot say both,
You can.
You can say
See?
both.
See? You can say both.
but neat.
Okay, neat. Column, pot, or a blend?
Blend.
Okay. Do you like unaged or aged?
Age.
That makes sense. Molasses or cane juice or blend?
Blend.
I
okay.
gave you that one. Okay. Do you have a favorite mixed drink that uses Uruapan Charanda?
Very simple. Neat or a daiquiri.
Yep.
Can't go wrong.
I would agree with that also. Okay. I know you are very involved in women leading rum online as a platform. Will there ever be a women leading charanda?
Aquí están. They are here, but they are.
You're like, yes, there already is.
It's
and
already
you.
here. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Do you have a favorite cane spirit or rum not made in Mexico?
Not made in Mexico. Favorite? Yeah, I have.
What's your favorite?
But a lot
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot.
She's like, I can't name. Can you name one?
I am Clara.
Claren.
Claren.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very good. Very good.
Clement from Martinique, I like, and Forest Poor, I like. And I have
We'll just
Lots
keep
of different
going.
ones.
Yeah.
We talked about the famous blue bottle. Would you ever consider doing a bottle in a different shade? Maybe like reddish brown for charanda, means red soil. You could do a reddish brown bottle.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna print this and you can sign it.
Excellent. Okay, and finally, we have Sol Tarasco, we talked about, and Sol means sun, of course. So my question is, are we ever going to get a Luna Tarasco?
Luna Tarasco, I don't think so.
But some mushrooms grow at night.
No.
She's,
It's
no,
already
no, they
done.
don't.
She said, look, you had one good idea before with your bottle.
You
This
should have
one,
called
no.
it quits there. All right. Well, that's time on the Fuego Rapido round. So, great performance, Miriam, and you got at least one interesting idea out of it. The red bottle. That's a pretty good idea, John. The red for the red soil. A red bottle would be
Gracias.
pretty striking. Yeah, I like that.
That's good. You're gonna sign it.
Yes.
It was my idea. It was my idea.
That's the John Gullo bottle. Yeah.
Your signature should be on every bottle. I'll just sign the one. All
Well,
right.
Miriam, thank you again for taking the time to educate us more about the world of Charanda, to tell us the backstory behind your family, your distillery, everything. Really great products, and I hope we just continue to see more of them along with all the other great Mexican cane spirits that are out
Yes.
there. Before we let you go, is there anything we didn't talk about, anything you'd like to share with rum enthusiasts across the world?
I love that word, and I love rum enthusiasm. Just like you said, let's be open to difference between people and between rums.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Well said.
The diversity of rums and charandas
Diversity,
available to us is what we love about the category, for sure.
So maybe that diversity is something that's good for everyone.
Yeah.
Like it's the beauty of humans and the beauty of products and the beauty of the spirits and so let's be open to that.
Love it. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you again for joining us. I like ending on a positive note. So
Yes.
Gracias. Abrazo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is abrazo?
It's like no.
Ha, ha, ha,
Oh, it's a heart.
A heart.
Like a
ha.
hug. Oh, okay.
Like
A
an
hug.
embrace. An embrace, yeah. Abrazo.
Oh,
Yes.
of course, yeah.
I do. I know. Yes. Okay. My wife is gonna kill me that I didn't know that right away. Yes.
I would. So today you're gonna say abrazo, beso.
I'll tell her right now.
Abrazo,
Besitos.
beso.
Bye.
Y abrazo. Okay. Bye.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Miriam.
Bye.
All right, everyone, thanks so much for listening to another episode of the Rumcast. Thanks to Miriam Pacheco again for joining us. We'll put some links to Uruapan's website. You can go and check out some of their stuff there. And send us an email, send us a message. Let us know what you think of this rum. Also, our rum temperature experiment that we gave the details for in the intro.
That's right.
If you want to participate in that, go grab your bottle of El Dorado 12 or run to the store, grab a bottle of El Dorado 12. Participate, do it on your own. Send us your reaction. You can reach us at host@rumcast.com. That's HOST@rumcast.com. Or you can message us on social media. John, where can they find us?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Or they can join us and do it live. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
On our happy hour. What date is that one again?
March 26th, a Wednesday night.
Yes. So we are going to join other rum fans, and we get to talk about a bunch of different topics typically on the happy hour. But this one will be a fun one because we get to hear some reactions for some people who have also done that on their own, and we get to share with each other. So join us for that. If you haven't already signed up for Patreon, do it and join us. And we're always happy to have you. And then if you are doing it on your own, Will, like you said, send us a message. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll include those in our review when we talk about it.
How different do you think the cold rum is from the room temp rum, or are they totally the same in your view?
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing how people experience this. So let us know. I'm really looking forward to getting people's reactions to this. All right, John. I think that's just about it for this episode. So
I think that's it.
All right.
Until next time.
Until next time. Cheers.
Yeah, there we go. Cheers.